Hey, I'm Brian with Indie Coffee Roasters, and I'll be showing you how to make a quality shot of espresso. I'll be using a semi-automatic machine from Mod Bar. However, these concepts can really be applied regardless of machine. One thing to note, you will need a scale that measures in tenths of a gram, just so that you can be accurate and repeatable. Now, I'll be showing you a more traditional shot of espresso, meaning that it is pulled at max pressure throughout the entire brew time. And this is just a great starting point for a very sweet and complex and exciting shot of espresso. So the recipe we'll be using is 20 grams of ground coffee in our portafilter. We'll be looking to get 45 grams of liquid coffee out, and we'll be looking to do that in about 25 to 27 seconds. So I'm gonna take my portafilter here. I'm just gonna use a towel to dry it off real quick to make sure I'm not getting any of my coffee wet before I actually wanna brew. And I'm gonna take my portafilter and put it on the scale and tear that out to 0. And then I'm gonna grind my coffee into the portafilter. If you got a little bit too much, maybe take a little out with an espresso spoon or something. But then when you've got 20 grams exactly, go ahead and take that off the scale and we're ready to start distributing. Now, you need to distribute your grounds across the entire portafilter just so that you get an even extraction. If you've got more grounds in one area, in one part of the portafilter, and not as many grounds in another, all that water will just pass through that path of least resistance, and you won't get an evenly extracted shot of espresso, and we don't want that. So what you do is you just take your finger, and you slide that across the surface, the top of the portafilter. You don't really need to spend a lot of time packing it down or anything. You're just moving your finger across the top of the portafilter just to evenly distribute, spread out all the grounds across the entire portafilter. And then I might just give it a little, very gentle pat, and we'll be ready to tamp. Now when you're tamping, you're gonna hold the tamper in kind of just like a doorknob really, just whatever is comfortable. And you're gonna wanna kinda hip up to the counter, get square to the counter, and have your elbow kinda high in the air so that you can adequately apply pressure. And you're gonna tamp in one piston-like motion, just in and out. If we kinda stay in the portafilter and really crank down a lot of pressure on it, it's kinda not necessary and it'll probably make you just mess up your shot. When you're tamping, you wanna make sure that you're tamping level, because again, if I've got less coffee over here because I tamped unlevel, all that water will pass through that path of least resistance and we'll get an unevenly extracted shot of espresso. So if you're tamping level and you're just tamping in one piston-like in and out motion, you'll be good to go. So let's go ahead and tamp. Again, just hold it comfortably like a doorknob. Make sure that you're just tamping level in one piston-like motion, in and out, and we're ready to go. Before you actually pull your shot, or before you put the portafilter in the group head, go ahead and just purge the group head. Just run a little bit of water through it. Kind of heats up the entire group head and make sure there's no leftover residue of coffee in there. Go ahead and lock your portafilter into the group head. Take your shot glass and tear it out, zero it out on the scale here just to check how much coffee we yield at the end. Put the shot glass under the group head and go ahead and start your espresso. There'll either be a button or, in the case of the Mod Bar, a lever, and we're ready to go. So first we'll see kind of like a rich dark brown color, and it'll kind of then move towards a lighter brown and then to maybe like a darker blonde. We'll be looking again for a 25 to 27 second brew time. And again, we'll be looking to yield 45 grams of liquid coffee. So yeah, our brew time here was 25 seconds exactly. I'm gonna take my shot glass off of the grate here and put it on the scale and check my yield. Yeah, I got 45 grams. So yeah, we pulled 45 grams of liquid coffee in 25 seconds. If you notice that you achieve the right yield, that 45 grams, in too short of a brew time, well under 25 seconds, you might want to fine up your grind a bit. A finer grind will slow down that brew time. Or if it yielded 45 grams, but it took a lot longer to do that, you might want to coarsen up your grind. That'll kind of speed up that brew time and get everything flowing quicker. But 20 grams of coffee in to 45 grams of coffee out at 25 to 27 seconds is a great starting point for a very sweet, exciting, and delicious shot of espresso.